Okay, welcome to the Shalom Stamps tutorial. I've had a request for the clay pendant, and it's like a monogram pendant. I have an example to show you of a finished one, but for now let's start with this cute orange color. I have here about an ounce of the Sculpey clay, which is Sculpey or Fimo, whatever compounds you want to use. It doesn't dry instantly, it needs to be baked. Okay, so the other tool that I have here is a rolling pin of acrylic. I have a razor blade to cut. I have a small Tupperware cup to cut the circle part. And then I have the Olive Base stamps and an acrylic black to stamp with. Okay, so let's start by rolling out the clay. I've softened it a little with my hands, so that will help you get started. Now when I get a nice straight surface, I'm going to cut out a circle, just like you would cut a cookie. And the extra is going to be used for a trim around the edge. Now I could use this circle shape, but today I'd like to turn it into a little bit of an oval. So to do that, I just roll it and hope for the best. Like that shape for the pendant. Now I'm going to pick the letter. I think I'll do this one for my friend Tova and put that on the black, but actually I think I'm going to do the frame on this one, and I'm just going to use the reverse side for it and get it right in the middle to help me out later. Okay, so I'm going to start with the frame, and I'm going to press that frame perfect. The shape is great, and I'm actually rocking it a little bit into the clay just to make sure that all of the surfaces and all of the images get pressed in. That is beautiful. Okay, now I already have my test on the other side of this black, so I could actually remove this so I could see through better. Go right into the center and rock it just a drop and remove. Okay, I love it. Now I'm going to take the excess and roll it into little, I guess I call them snakes, and watch my rolling motion. I start with my fingers together and spread them apart as I roll. I want a really thin, really even snake, and once I start to see that it's getting long, I'll cut it exactly in half with the razor blade and work with the two pieces separately, because I'm going to twist them into kind of like a braided embellishment around the edge, a trim. Okay, really you could use this and just surround it like that, but because I want it a little fancier, I'm going to try my best to get a twist by using two pieces. So now I have to be really careful because it's getting very thin, but I like the way it's really nice and even all along. Put that aside and work with the second piece. As I'm rolling it, I'm feeling out the spots that are lower and higher with my fingers and pressing down to make it as even as possible. And I see that it's getting just about as long as my first piece. I'm ready to twist them together. So I match edge to edge, and I actually am going to cut off some there. And this is a process that I do in the air. I actually watch the twists as I'm going along. And if I don't like one of them, I just go back and do a little more or a little bit less. But I want those twists in the end to be really even as well. Okay, see I have a little extra piece at the end here. I'm going to cut that off. Now I haven't really measured this yet around the pendant, but when I'll get up to that, I'll just snip off whatever's extra. Hopefully it's long enough. Okay, here we go. Now I check it over from top to bottom, twisting it evenly. And it's ready to lay around the edge of it. Okay, here we go. Starting at the top, I'll just gently press it all around. And I notice that this needs a little bit more turning, and here as well. And it is quite long, so I just chop off some on the top. And this part on top is not so pretty, but that's fine because it's going to be the area where we're going to use the excess to make a little loop. Okay, so you can do a twisted loop if you like. I usually just like a really plain, old-fashioned, just a little, it almost looks like a piece of leather strap on top. So I can either just form it with my hands, or I can roll it out a bit, or do some type of combination. If you want it to look really exact, you can cut it with the razor, or just give it a nice little hand finish. And I think this is going to be good. So I'm going to lift off the pendant carefully. Whoop. Crack will drop there, but that's fine because it's going to bake together. And starting from front, pressing, loop it over to the back. And there you have it. It's ready to bake at a very low temperature for just a few minutes. And I'll show it to you when it's done.